up, everybody? Welcome to the Hot Takes Podcast, episode 25. It's been a while, been a good month without doing a podcast, but we're finally back, and we're happy to be here. I am joined by my very special guest, Joe Lupo.
Hey.
And I'm also joined, as always, with my cameraman, Joe Critelli.
Doing a Fonzie thing.
Yeah, look at my No Shave November.
Can they see it? Should we turn the camera? No. Okay. It's magnificent.
When I shave, I'll give you this in a bag, Joe.
I have more than enough.
Oh, Joe has a camera. It's like hidden behind my camera, but it's there. It's there.
Yeah,
they could see it. Yeah. All right. We are just gonna get right into it. We got some news roundup to do as usual.
That we do.
What's up?
I was gonna say, before we get into this, did you have Disney Plus on there? Could we get a little into that?
Yeah, we'll get into that too. Right after the news roundup, we'll talk about it a little bit.
That's good, because I'm pretty curious on whether I should buy it. Honestly.
Yeah. All right, so first up for news roundup, Warner Brothers confirmed that they had a meeting with J.J. Abrams when it comes to Superman, which is a pretty good thing. That's a pretty good thing.
I definitely like that.
He did good work in Star Wars.
Yes, good work in Star Wars, and I'm sure this new movie, The Rise of Skywalker, will be good because he directed it as well.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, here's hoping.
May the Force be with us.
Yeah. Also, though, with Superman, they talked to Michael B. Jordan about the role. Now, some people are pretty excited about that. Some people might not be.
Is it getting hot in here?
It's getting hot in here. Now, what I'm about to say might be a hot take.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
But
lay it on him, Frank.
It's not at all racist, but I just wanted to...
It's bad when you have to preface it with, this isn't racist, but...
Well, you never know. People might take it the wrong way, but I just wanted...
In our day and age, of course, they're going to think
I mean, I just want to express my opinion on it. Warner Brothers, please, 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 please do not do that. If it's going to be an African-American male to play Superman, Michael B. Jordan would probably be my top pick, to be honest with you. But I don't want them to make an African-American Superman.
I'm saying he's up there, but I think a later discussion might be top 5 for that, because I think he's like a 3.
Yeah,
top
you think
3,
so?
Maybe.
Who would be your number 1? Idris Elba?
No, dude, I want Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson is Superman. That would be classic.
With these motherfucking Lex Luthors in my motherfucking... It just snaps his head.
I think for me it would be Idris Elba?
Yeah, Idris Elba, yeah.
Oh, that's a good one, actually.
Yeah.
He's like classy.
He's gonna be in he's gonna be in the Suicide Squad coming up, though.
Oh.
I don't know if he's being Deadshot or it's gonna be like the replacement for Deadshot, because Will Smith isn't returning.
I'm shot dead.
I gotta say though, like when I heard you said that they were talking to Michael B. Jordan, like I know you were like kind of like 50-50 about it. Like obviously he's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah. Oh, phenomenal. Yeah.
I liked it. Like, you know, it's not. How do I say this? I don't think it's like I get why everyone wants Superman to look like Superman, and Michael B. Jordan probably doesn't. Like, he does not look like Clark Kent from the comic book.
No.
But I think he can make it work, and I think Superman could touch like a whole new different audience of people if we expand like.
I think you're absolutely right. I think if he was actually casted, he would do a great job because he's a phenomenal actor and he's jacked as well. You know, he played.
Fits the criteria.
Fits the criteria perfectly. I feel like he has that humble attitude that would fit perfectly with Superman. I just don't think they should do it. I feel like DC is trying to do all this groundbreaking stuff with their comic book movies. Probably because their connected universe isn't doing so hot, so they made films like Joker, which made a big splash, and
which was awesome.
Now they're gonna try to do other DC Black Label Batman villain stories to make into movies.
Right.
That's cool, but I think they're going a little. I don't know. I think they're trying too hard with it.
My thing is, I want them if they're gonna cast him, I want them to do it because of his acting abilities, solely. You know. I feel like it's going to come off as very superficial if it's a whole big movement just to do it because, why can't, if it turns into a whole race thing, I don't think it should even go there in the first place, you know? I think it should just be like, if the actor can do it and good enough, try it out. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, I agree with you, but we all know that there's going to be
Yeah.
backlash no matter what.
Oh, of course, dude.
No matter what with it.
And I could see what they're saying. There are some roles that are so iconic that are like, it'd be jarring if you went to go see it and you're like, I can't keep up with this, you know?
Mhm.
What if Thor was like, I don't know, Italian?
Yeah, right.
He's not Italian.
Yeah, with his blue hair, blonde eyes.
Yeah, right.
The fact that he's taller than 5 foot.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like, the part's been played so many times, and it's a very iconic look to him that's how I feel. But then again, I won't be mad if it actually happens. But what about Henry Cavill? That's what I want to know. I want him to still be Superman.
Well, he looks like he's a little busy being Geralt
yeah,
of
he's
Rivia
being
right
the
now.
Witcher right now.
Very true. But he could be both.
I don't know. Those are like very different images,
They are very different.
Like,
he probably could be both, but maybe not
Yeah.
the same.
Superman bangs one chick, Geralt bangs like one chick every hour. Like, it's very different sexual appetite.
Well, speaking of Henry Cavill, producers for the upcoming Black Adam movie starring Dwayne Johnson, his movie's coming out in 2021, I believe. They confirmed it, and the producers were playing around and hinting that Henry Cavill's Superman could possibly be joining that movie. So it doesn't seem like they're making Henry Cavill go completely in the dark.
Okay.
But
Who do you think they'll cast him as in that movie?
who are we talking about?
In the Black Adam movie.
Did you say
Who?
as-
Henry Cavill?
I thought he said as Superman.
As Superman.
Oh shit. My
Yeah,
bad.
as
Sick.
Superman,
A
yeah.
little donkey brand over here.
Do you think
Can we cut that out?
a cameo would be more in order for that, or you think it would be like
Cameo.
a full? You think you'd have like a full part?
How about an introduction? Like,
like a
like
Superman?
like Superman's in the beginning and he like introduces him to like the world of like superheroes and everything, and then the movie goes from there.
That would be cool because they both have that same strength level and power, That would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not too informed on this Black Adam guy. I've definitely heard his name though before.
What I did want to say to you was Superman did make a small cameo in Shazam at the very end. So they teased that. So that's why I think, Black Adam's definitely going to be more of a darker tone. Henry Cavill is this darker tone Superman. I think it would be a good fit to have him in this movie. Yeah.
Do you think with that cameo, do you think they're gonna try to reassemble the League?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I hope they make Black Adam like this good guy at first and then turns evil kind of deal. You know what I mean? And maybe have him set up this movie as Dwayne Johnson, the next bad guy for the next Justice League movie. I think it's possible.
Now getting into typecasting, I just can't picture The Rock as like that bad of a guy,
Yeah.
Like, it would be hard to picture him as like a supervillain that murders millions or something, because he's like The Rock. I could definitely agree he could be like a rough hero.
Yeah.
Like, maybe even an anti-hero on like Deadpool-esque levels, but I don't know about villain. What do you think, Joe?
I think if he was gonna pull it off, like literally, he would need a beard, and we would not.
A beard?
Like, we can't look at this guy.
Yeah,
and be like,
just
this is The
his
Rock
regular
every
face.
5
It's too
seconds.
pure, He's a pure person. I can't.
Yeah.
And he can't be pure evil.
Please, he's not pure. He's taking too much money from friggin' Hollywood.
Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
All right, he does cook some pretty nice things, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Baywatch, I love that movie.
That was a good
Baywatch
movie,
was a
actually.
good movie, yeah. I don't know about the beard on Dwayne. I think he definitely needs hair as Black Adam.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He definitely needs hair. But I don't know about the beard. That's all I'll say
Maybe
about
like a
that.
scar. He's got like a scarred face, so he's like
He
looks like he was good, but then he got scarred.
There you go.
Harvey Dent, Black Adam.
I'm not talking about third-degree burn victim Dwayne Johnson. I'm talking like the cool, the cool movie scars.
Yeah.
When someone gets slashed across the face, and instead of their face getting cleaved in half, it's just perfectly over the eye.
Like a Kylo Ren kind of deal.
Yeah.
Fun fact, they changed Kylo Ren's scar in The Last Jedi.
Yeah?
Yeah, apparently it was like a lot bigger in, what was the first one called? The Force Awakens?
Yeah.
And then they just changed it to make it look smaller or something like that.
I guess they want to show off more of his face.
Yeah.
Which,
Adam Driver, man.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
the only thing they changed, honestly. They like changed the opinions of like an entire.
Joe, it's okay. Joe, it's okay. Joe, it's okay. We're gonna need to take a quick intermission. Our cameraman is going into shock again.
Next thing and last thing we got on News Roundup: Kong vs. Godzilla, a movie that we knew was coming. At least I knew was coming. Godzilla King of the Monsters came out this past summer. Thought it was a really good movie. So it has me excited for this one. Unfortunately, they just announced the other day they delayed it 8 months.
Oh.
So it was supposed to come out in March of next year, but
Yeah.
now it's coming out in November of next year.
But, fans should always be wary of, pushing studios too much. Because, as a corporation, they want to make money as fast as possible, too. But I think delays are always better for a project. If creatively they think that it does need to be delayed and things do need to be worked out, I'd rather it be done during the production of the movie and not have a half-finished project.
By all means, yeah.
Tossed out.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
This is Legendary Pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you did like the most recent one, Frankie?
I thought it was really good. It didn't get great reviews by critics, but fans loved it. Yeah.
How was Millie Bobby Brown in it? Was she in it at all?
She was good. They made her relevant in the story, but she's also going to be in Kong vs. Godzilla. They're tying her into this movie too. Yeah, she was good. She's just like any other person actor in a monster movie. I'd say.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The only thing I gotta say is I don't think King Kong can win this one. All right.
Oh, what, against Godzilla?
I'm sorry, Joe Lupo. I don't know.
What?
I don't know which. I figured Joes are always Godzilla guys, but I don't know what you man.
Well, I just I'm a true American person. I like watching big things fight each other. That's it's just,
Okay, that's fair
I don't care
enough.
who wins. I want it to be a good, fair fight. I want 3 rounds. I want there to be snacks. I want there to be. I don't know actually.
Seriously though, King Kong has no chance.
Did you guys see Kong vs. Godzilla? I know. Did you guys see Kong Skull Island?
Yes.
Okay.
I think you showed it to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I showed you the trailer
that's
for sure.
That's the one with
Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman, Brie Larson.
Yeah, that one. I remember that one.
Mm-hmm. They make him significantly bigger than he has been in the movies,
Right.
And it seems like he's a lot smarter too, and using trees as spears and weapons and stuff like that.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Primates are smart animals.
So I think he has a somewhat decent chance against Godzilla. Not to say that Godzilla is going to wreck him, but yeah.
It's all about, I feel like, for King Kong, he's just got to get close, He's got to get close, because if he stays at, medium range or long distance, he's just going to get sniped by laser beams from Godzilla,
Yeah, for sure.
Unless he's just going to be picking up buildings with people and be like, nyeh.
What else? I was going to say something else. Did you guys see King of the Monsters?
I didn't see King of the Monsters. Last one I saw was Skull Island.
Okay. So, do you mind if I spoil something?
Not the tall boy.
All right. So, they tease at the end of King of the Monsters,
Saw that.
Mega King Ghidorah. Am I saying that right?
Mecha King Ghidorah, yes.
Mega King Ghidorah, like the robotic guy. Mecha.
This is going to be a mecha fight?
So, I'm thinking they're going to go the Batman v Superman route with this movie, where they have Kong versus Godzilla fighting in the beginning, but then ultimately have to fight the bigger threat
it's a
together.
Team-up movie.
I think
a team-up movie.
I'm calling it now. The movie's more than 8 months away, but I'm calling it now. I think that's how it's going to turn out.
You heard it here first, and that is quite a hot take right there.
Indeed.
It's always bold
And
doing
that's
a
why
team-up from a verse movie.
Oh yeah. Well, people want to see them go against each other, the two heroes, I guess you could call them, but
I could definitely see it going along that route, the movie.
Right? Yeah.
If not King Ghidorah, maybe not Mecha King Ghidorah, then maybe
Mothra.
Mothra's like an ally, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say it would be someone I don't know, you watch Godzilla versus Destroyer or whatever, or there were some creepy looking Godzilla villains, man. There was these giant swamp monsters, this thing that could swallow Godzilla,
Just as long as it's not a giant bee or anything, that'd be nightmare fuel for me.
Oh yeah. Actually, that would be sick. Like a giant wasp.
I wouldn't be able to watch the movie. You have to be.
You
You have to be far away.
he friggin' gets Godzilla, he stings Godzilla, and Godzilla just blows up.
yeah.
U.S. military is like, drop the EpiPen!
Yeah.
Gets him in the neck. It's like, oh.
Oh man. All right, that'll do it for news roundup. Let's talk about Disney Plus a little bit. It came out a couple weeks ago. We haven't done a pod in a while, so we haven't been able to talk about it. Did you get it yet, Lupo?
I have not. I'm waiting to hear your guys' opinions, actually, and then I'll buy it.
All right. Me and Joe Critelli, we both got it through Verizon. Shout out to Verizon because they're giving Disney Plus free for a full year.
Sponsor our stuff.
Verizon, sponsor the pod. Please. Yes. I think Disney Plus is great. The only problem I have with it right now is that it's like limited stuff that's on there because it just came out.
Which, that's a very fixable problem.
Oh, 100%.
It almost seems like more limited because it's a lot of things we've seen. And, like, obviously you get Disney Plus, you know you're expecting all these Disney movies, but there's just so much that, like, I swear, just movies we've seen tens of times. Like,
wait, isn't that why they herald it with The Mandalorian and everything? Which is a new thing.
Yes.
Which apparently stars my boy Oberyn Martell.
It does, and he is great in it.
Yeah, he is?
He is.
Good.
He is good
I
in it.
like the actor.
Mandalorian is fantastic. Definitely a great show to start Disney Plus with. Baby Yoda memes everywhere.
Is that where that comes from?
That is where it comes from.
That is where that comes from?
Baby Yeet, yeah.
It's Baby Yeet.
It's a fantastic show. I can't wait to see where it goes. I'm like a little on the fence about it being released weekly. I kind of wish it was a binge show. Kind of not.
It's like you said. Like, they don't have a lot of content right now.
So they need to stretch it out.
They need to stall, until they can vomit up more content.
Yeah, 100%.
I would say that's, like, the only, like, original content that came out that I've watched, right? Did you watch anything?
No.
What, did they have High School Musical, the series?
They have that.
Whoa, do not be dissing High School. Our boy Will Wilson in High School Musical did.
Joe, you know what the show is called?
What?
High School Musical, the show. That's what it's called.
It's a little redundant, but you can't judge a book by its cover.
It'll be my sister's favorite show. Let me call it out. I'm just saying.
Does it have Zac Efron?
No.
No, dude, they're really like random like freshmen in high school.
It's literally a show about these kids doing a musical based on the movie High School Musical.
Okay. Well,
that's what it is.
After hearing that synopsis, it's a little shaky to me still, but I'm not going to watch it anyway, but maybe someone will like it,
They also premiered the live action, I don't know why they made this movie, the live action Lady and the Tramp. They released that with Disney Plus too. I don't know how that ended up being.
Who plays Lady and the Tramp? Do you know?
I don't know the voices. No, I could care less, to be honest with you.
It'd be funny if they didn't even do a voiceover. They just threw two dogs in and tried to make them recreate the scenes.
And just do subtitles.
They try to do the spaghetti scene, the other dogs are
yeah. That would be hilarious. But yeah, Disney Plus is good. The Marvel shows won't be coming out for another year, unfortunately. But they did confirm that they're going to be 30 minutes long, and it will be released weekly, just like Mandalorian.
Okay. So, hopefully, maybe they revisit that in like another year or two, because some people do like to binge, and that's one of the plus sides of that type of format. Is I have a free day today. Time to binge watch The Mandalorian, but nope.
I mean, we could have always not bought Disney Plus when we did and just waited till the whole series was out and then binge watch. You know what I mean? Like,
which I think I'm gonna do.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you for your sacrifice, guys. Really,
I almost want to say like this is like a ploy by Disney, but maybe it's just like how they want to do. Like, I don't know.
At this point, can you even say like why do they need to ploy? They already have so much like money and stuff. Like, I think this is just their format that they're going with.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Very true.
Just as long as they keep commercials out, please.
Which they do. Thank God.
Thank you.
They got The Simpsons on there, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay.
And there was one other. Oh yeah. So the Marvel Spider-Man movies will not be on Disney Plus due to Sony.
Are they still fighting?
In that sense, yes.
They just need to kiss and make up already, man.
I mean, they did for one more movie, but they're not putting them on Disney Plus, which is a little bit of a shame.
Disney's got to stand outside with the boom box.
So does
like,
Marvel.
babe, give me Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Babe.
Does Marvel not want to pay Disney again? I mean, does Disney not want to pay Sony again?
It definitely comes down to money with that. Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
Fuck you, Sony. You're the bad guys. Sorry, you're going to have to bleep that out.
There's no question about it. Who's the bad guy in this situation? Both of them are the bad guys in this situation.
I was kind of being sarcastic. I didn't really think Sony was that much of the bad guys through this whole thing, but because
I mean,
oh, you
you can never judge like a business or something like that as like a good or bad, because a business is like the most neutral thing ever. It's always gonna take whatever path gets it more money and what spends least money, because that's how it like thrives. It needs to expand more and more, and Disney I think is already pretty big. So I guess the question would be, when do you need to stop expanding and stuff? But I could see where they're both coming from. You know,
I'm only saying that they're both the bad guy because they're both making money still, and they just want more money and being greedy.
You need to make more money.
I
It's the
understand
American
that.
way, baby.
Yeah.
Why make $1 when you can make $1.10?
Very true.
Yeah,
Very true.
right?
Yeah.
You have thoughts, Joe? Or are you a communist bastard? Get out of here.
Honestly, I might be less American than I thought, but it's all right.
Actually, I identify with the nation of Hong Kong.
All right. Is that all we got on Disney Plus?
I would say so. I'd say.
Yeah, well, I mean, what else?
I would say, Joe, like that it's worth it, but maybe wait a couple weeks, wait for something, some other original show to come out, or maybe wait for a couple more episodes of Mandalorian, which is also like 30 minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
Not an hour?
First episode was 40 minutes long. That was a little disappointing. Just a quick run through. Like it has like.
Yeah, if you're waiting a week for a show, it should at least be an hour.
It's annoying. Like it's a little corny at times. Not that corny, but like there's that nice Star Wars corniness. The true Star Wars fans will like they'll recognize it and they'll love it.
I mean, Star Wars at its base core, is a little. There's some popcorn in there.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a good little corny, but it's in a good way. Don't flame me, whoever likes Star Wars that much, please.
My thought to you is maybe just wait a whole year until getting it.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
Wait a good year. Wait
Add
till
more
the
content.
Marvel shows start rolling through, because I really think that's one of the main original series they got going for Disney Plus right now, or all the Marvel shows. So yeah.
Isn't it though? If you get Disney Plus, you also get like Hulu and all that other stuff.
If you have Hulu, you could get Disney Plus with like an extra add-on fee or something like that.
Oh, great! I have Hulu.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's that much more, honestly.
No, not at all. No.
Probably like $5 or $10 or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
20. $50.
All right, so we did our news roundup. We talked about Disney Plus a little bit. We are now going to get into our one and only topic today, which is the top 5 favorite Hollywood. I was about to say
Top 5 favorite Hollywood.
top 5 favorite horror movies of all time. We're doing this one a little bit late. It probably would have been better to do it during Halloween. But we're doing it now.
Nothing's more scary than the diabetes you get from a Thanksgiving dinner,
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Still relevant.
Still relevant.
I'm already
indeed.
planning to gain 10 pounds at least. Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, so we could get right into it. I'll go first, and then Lupo, and then Joe, and then we'll just keep on going around with it.
All right, let me get my...
Yeah, like that, yeah. We did discuss before that we're going to do our honorable mentions first, so we could do that. I only have one at the moment, and that is what you were saying before. What was it called? It's like Paranormal Activity, but not.
Oh, Grave Encounters.
Grave Encounters.
Yeah,
Grave Encounters, my honorable mention. A movie that surprised me. I think I saw it on Netflix. I went into it thinking it was a discount, movie, and
Turns
it was
out it's
good.
pretty good.
Yeah.
It does the found footage genre a lot of justice, I feel, because it's so easy to mess up those type of movies.
Yeah, for sure.
That trailer scared the crap out of
Yeah,
me
isn't
when
it?
I was a little younger.
Creepy.
I think it was on it was either Comedy Central or Adult Swim at 1 in the morning, and I used to watch it, and I used to freak out. Like, oh my god. I think it was. Possibly could have been that movie. Anyway, so that movie probably horrified me, and I didn't even see it. Not even on my list.
Just the trailer. The trailer was too much.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have honorable mentions they would like to say?
I have honorable mention. I have the this movie isn't scary in a traditional sense, but it's a great horror movie because the story is good. It doesn't rely on jump scares. I have The Witch. It's written like The Witch or whatever. It's like a 2 hour or two. It's a long movie and everything, but the casting in that movie is great. Like the whole plot line is great. I don't want to give any spoilers because I recommend anyone should watch that movie. But it's just a solid movie, and it happens to be a horror movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it has a good story.
It's got a very good story. Yeah. This family, they get kicked out of their Puritan village because even the father is too Puritan for them with his views. Yeah, and they have to go live out in the woods, and of course, chaos ensues. But slowly, slowly.
It's like Rick being the rickiest
Yeah.
Rick. Yeah, exactly.
I'm more Puritan than all of you.
Yeah.
I have my wife in 5 blankets, you harlots.
What you got, Joe?
All right, well, I'm going to start off with,
Honorable mentions?
honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Do.
I didn't see this movie, and but you know what? It scared the crap out of me when I was in high school because I don't know if I can get into it. It's called Teeth, okay? And the movie.
I think I've heard of this. Yeah, is this
The movie is about.
Yeah.
Go ahead, get into it.
It's about a girl who's got teeth on her private area, and
Yes.
they bite people's dicks off, they bite people's whatever's off. I didn't see it, but I was friggin' how we were back in high school. I was scared, I was horrified, I was thinking twice before I was talking to any girls, bro. I was like, you don't know if they got teeth.
Dude. I mean, I feel like if the person's even a semi-good person, they should be like, hey, a fucking shark down there, right? What type of crazy slang is that? No, dude, I'll fuck you up.
Oh, man.
Protection in a whole new case. You wear a freaking steel armor.
All right,
Go to the blacksmith.
I feel like I gotta say my actual honorable mention now.
Okay.
All right, it had to be Jaws. Jaws isn't necessarily the scariest movie.
Speaking of sharks.
Yeah, I was 8 years old, 7 years old, and I was horrified, terrified beyond belief of Jaws, man. Shark swallowing you whole, that's gotta be the scariest thing on earth, right?
Yeah.
Getting swallowed whole and
Easily.
alive, being buried alive, that's the same friggin' horror to me, man.
Although this might reassure you a little bit, a shark, after it's already bitten you, once it realizes you're not a seal, it'll let you go.
Really?
Keep in mind, after it's bitten you, you've already lost a good chunk of you and
Whatever,
blood, so
yeah.
you're probably going to die anyway, but it's not going to finish you off, so.
You see, I thought it would make it worse if blood came out, because isn't that also what they're attracted to?
Well, it would, but not. It wouldn't be the shark necessarily. It would be the other animal, the other sea creatures coming towards you.
Gotcha.
Well, yeah, if the shark brings something else,
right. The shark brings 4 barracudas and a whole thing of piranhas. Oh my god!
What a piranha! Where are you swimming that all these godforsaken creatures are in the same place?
Guys, let's go get them. Let's jump them.
All right, ready? Wait for it. Now.
Yeah.
Remember that Piranha 3D movie? Any of you guys had
Yes.
that movie on there?
I'll put that as an honorable mention. That was a good one.
Is it scary?
No, it was funny. It was hilarious.
Okay.
Speaking of that teeth movie, Piranha 3D, I'm pretty sure that a main part of the movie is the piranha bites the guy's dick off and you see it floating in the ocean. Yeah.
Whoa.
Was the dick big?
Yes.
So he was hard when that thing was biting him, huh?
That's what it made it seem like, I guess. Yeah.
Oh. That's a topic for another time, right?
Indeed.
We're a little PG-13 this podcast.
I'm curious from a scientific standpoint only, I swear.
All right, so that'll do it for the honorable mentions. Let's get into our main top 5. My number 5 is a movie that is more current with the times right now, as far as it was released recently than the rest of the movies I have on my lists.
Okay.
Get Out, directed by Jordan Peele. For some reason, I'll just say, most horror movies nowadays don't really scare me that much. as long as they have a good story to them, and yeah, jump scares are good here and there, but it's all about the ending for me, like how it all plays out. And Get Out, I thought was played perfectly. You know, everything that they hinted towards too. The comedy in the movie with the security guard is classic.
Yeah,
I thought that was a great part of it.
He was great.
And yeah, I just thought it was really good. I was very surprised by Jordan Peele. You know, it being his first directorial, you know, debut.
Yeah, and knocked it straight out of the park.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. And, you know, Us was good too. But I still think Get Out was honestly way better than Us. But yeah, I don't even want to spoil the ending because I think it's a movie that everyone should watch.
It's something you guys see for yourself so you could feel like that emotion.
100%. Yeah. And just the, you know, not even the twist, but just the way they...
What a twist.
Yeah, what a twist. Like, just the way they did things in the movie, and I don't know. I can't even explain it right now.
Can we do dishonorable mentions? Or
If
can we
you
do that after the list, actually?
Yeah, let's do it after the list. Yeah.
Because when I said that, I just reminded myself that movie existed, and I got angry.
Oh.
So,
Okay. Well, that's my number 5.
All right. So my turn for 5?
Yes.
All right. I have for my number 5 the Saw franchise, but only the first 3.
Oh my God,
Really?
it's on my list too. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had to give it a shout out. There's like a... You okay?
Time out.
It's not turning on.
And we're going to take a 5-minute intermission where I'm going to
what's
do a
going
little
on?
dance.
Oh, it's because for some reason the battery's dead. It shouldn't be, but...
Yeah, dude, I didn't mean to interrupt you right there, but it wasn't recording like.
Alright, sorry for the delay there, but we are...
Notice this one.
Yeah, that's a good one, right?
With the flask.
All right, so you were in the process of your number 5. Tom.
Yes, I was, Joe. Thank you. I was talking about the Saw franchise, but only the first 3. I felt like the first 3 were really well made. Not even the third one that much, but the first 2. I actually enjoyed Saw 2 almost as much as I enjoyed the first one because it was everything a sequel should be. It had more of the good elements while it fixed its old problems. You know.
Yes.
It had a larger cast. It still had a good twist at the end. It had 2 twists technically, if you think about it.
Very good twists.
Yeah,
at the
very
end.
good. It was engaging, and the gore was even better.
Yeah.
Although it was the start of a dangerous trend in the franchise of when it's just becoming gore porn,
Yeah.
more or less. But at this point in time, they were great, and I loved them so much. The Saw franchise.
How are the newer ones nowadays? Do you?
All I remember is I saw 10 minutes of one, and they were in public. It was they were inside a glass case or something. They had
That
to,
was Saw 3D. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was
Mhm.
like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know?
They're always over the top, right? Those movies.
Oh, well, as they went on, yes. Yeah.
I only saw one where the ending. I don't even want to spoil it on.
Oh yeah, on live stream.
I wouldn't even want to. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Yes,
the one I saw.
But that's all I gotta say about Saw. If you want to talk about your number 5.
Oh, I would love to, and I do believe my number 5 is The War of the Worlds, the 2004 remake. Oh my God, not even a fantastic movie. I honestly like that movie because aliens always interested me.
That's a bold choice you have right there.
I know. For an alien
That
movie
is-
too, right? An alien movie
that's
too.
like-
I had to pick that one. The thing that horrified me, truly about that movie was
the movie.
end.
I'm kidding. Sorry.
What?
Go on.
I was thinking, I was like, did I forget what movie I did? And whatever. The thing that horrified me the most was the lightning bolts that were bringing the aliens into the ships that were underground for millions of years already. That was friggin' sketchy. And then they got up and they started zapping people. Oh my God! Actually, honestly, the most terrifying thing was when they got their friggin' the tripod friggin' alien machines were getting their hands were all coming out. They were picking people one by one, picking them up, putting them in the ship, putting them through a fucking blender that looked like a friggin' anus. They were going through this anus blender. It looked
I
like
mean, hey, if I'm gonna die, that's how I'm gonna die.
yeah, right. Yeah, right. Everyone loved that.
Oh no, I'm just horsing around. I wouldn't want to go through an alien butt
Yeah, it looked like it sawed you up, man.
unless
pretty
it's
bad.
thick with
honestly,
2 C's.
teeth looked like nothing compared to
No.
that freaking alien anus.
That should be like a quote for this podcast, man.
It'll be on the highlight reel.
Teeth were nothing compared to an alien anus.
And like, I mean, the last thing I would say was like, I mean, even the actual designs of the aliens creep me out. They were a little bigger, and like their faces were a little like amphibious, but like, I don't know, creepy tentacles, you know, creepy tentacles, and like, I don't know. I loved how that movie ended too. Like, we got it, boys. America, USA,
America, heck yeah. We're not cursing. This is PG.
Yeah.
Almost PG.
I mean,
We're PG-12 right now.
I feel like I don't have much more to say about War of the Worlds.
Okay.
All right. Good choice. Good choice. My number 4 is the original Halloween 1 and 2.
You son of a bitch.
This is a classic that I had to put on my list.
Of course.
I remember it like yesterday, sleeping over my uncle's house with all my cousins, and it's like, of course, like, let's watch the scariest movie we could watch. Watched both of them back to back. I thought they were fantastic. And right after the movie, my uncle had a Michael Myers mask that he decided to put on after the movies, and we were all scared shitless. And that's all I'll say with that.
So you got a history with the movie.
I got a history with the movie.
Traumatic
yes.
history.
A good traumatic experience, I guess.
The
you could
good
say.
trauma.
Yeah,
you know?
the good
the trauma you don't go to therapist for.
The way the first Halloween ended, I thought it was fantastic. How he falls off the balcony after being shot 5 times, 5 or 6 times. Yeah, 6 times.
I shot him 6
Yeah,
times.
that's right.
Little missed it.
And they just look down the balcony. He's not there anymore. The music starts playing again. I remember it just like that. It's fantastic. The second movie in the hospital, I thought was even scarier than the first one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. And I'll say this about Saw when I get to it as well, but that's all they needed. They only needed those 2 movies.
Frank, I'm seeing our lists overlap a little
They're
bit.
pretty similar, yeah, for sure. They didn't need that 3rd one with the witches. They didn't need the 4th one with the return of Michael Myers. Now, the latest Halloween that came back, that came out, and they brought back, what's her name? Jamie Lee Curtis, is that her name? Yeah. They brought her back, and apparently this latest Halloween was supposed to be Halloween 2. Like, they pretended like Halloween 2 back in the day didn't happen.
I mean, it's a shame but it kind of had to happen.
Yeah.
Or a cutoff had to happen because those movies you mentioned were a very dark point in the franchise.
For sure. I just wish they made it the 3rd one officially, not the 2nd one. That's just my opinion on it. But I love both of them. Definitely, I wouldn't even say it's a cult classic. They're just classics, They're classic movies. Everyone should go see it.
It's a classic.
If they haven't already.
It's like a hamburger and fries.
Yeah. Not to say that Rob Zombie's Halloween movies were bad, because they were pretty good too, but watch the classics. Watch the originals. They're fantastic.
Well, speaking of classic, now that we're on me, I have A Nightmare on Elm Street for one of my top. Yep. Okay. I mean, Freddy Krueger is probably one of the most iconic horror characters of all time. And, dude, what can I say about this movie that hasn't already been said? It's... I don't remember when I watched it, but I know that when I did, it was such a mix of being like scared but also kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. Because
Freddy is probably the first killer ever to like really like mess with his victims in like actual silly like ways that you kind of go and then you go, he sliced her face off, So yeah, it's on my list. I love the movie. You guys should check it out if you haven't seen it.
I have not seen the original. I saw the reboot.
I'll say this: the reboot, while it was it was pretty good. I'll give it that. Mm-hmm. But it didn't capture like Freddy, who was like the main attraction, In this one, in that reboot, he definitely was the pedophile. Like there was no question about it.
Oh yeah.
While in the original like stories, it was super like ambiguous on like who was right and who was wrong. Yeah. And obviously Freddy's not going to tell you anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
And the tone was just, I don't want to say darker because obviously a horror movie should be darker, but it just wasn't as fun for me to watch.
It's more of like the hypothesis to it. Like, was he the pedophile or not kind of deal? Like,
it's like, Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm. I rewatched the epic rap battle today with Freddy Krueger and Wolverine. Did you see that one?
I did see that one, actually.
I thought it was very good. They depicted Freddy well in that one. But yeah, good choice. Good number 4.
And of course, you gotta love those zany Freddy versus Jason movies.
I thought that was fantastic. I love watching. Watching YouTube clips of that.
It's so funny, honestly. Right? The clips on YouTube are so funny when they're going at each other. Like,
yeah, it's just two unstoppable horror movies like trying their best to kill each other, but it's impossible.
Trying to scare each other. Like one actually succeeds in scaring the other one. The other one gets his face cut off. Like I don't even remember exactly.
A great part of that, I think, is when it was either Freddy or Jason. When they started clipping those huge CO2 tanks, and they just blasted off and like hit one of them like all the way and started flying
into the lake.
Yeah, into the lake. Yeah. I thought that was great. Yeah.
Oh man.
Freddy should have known, man. Never follow Jason into the lake, man. You're just asking to get taken down.
Very true. Very true.
I feel like. Well, this is about my number 4. I feel like my number 4. It was more impactful than number 4 to me, but when I went back and rewatched it like a year ago with my friends, it was honestly awful in my opinion, and that movie was It the Clown. The original, it scared me.
The original It?
Yeah, the original It the Clown. It scared me so much as a kid.
Of course, you were a kid.
The first time I ever saw it was I was in the Poconos, Pennsylvania. We used to have like a vacation trailer we used to go to.
Nice.
I watched it with my sister, my older sister, and her best friend Donna. And I remember this one basement scene with Georgie, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That was the scene that always was in my head. Mm-hmm. And it horrified me for years. And I actually didn't get over my fear of that movie until I watched it like sophomore year in high school at like... It was like at midnight the movie started. It ended at like 5 in the morning. Like it wasn't even a movie, right? It was like a mini-series.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
It was a mini-series.
Yeah. And I didn't think it was awful when I watched it then, but it was just scary.
That's the one with Tim Curry, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. And it was just, oh my god, terrifying. Just that clown, man. That clown is the thing made in nightmares. You know what I'm saying? Like, he will horrify you forever. Oh my god.
Do you think the Pennywise now is scarier looking than the old one?
No.
I think I'm with you on the old one too, actually.
He's pretty unsettling, this one, but the old one was he was a lot more unsettling.
Yeah,
it's tough. Like I also want to say, like, the new movie was nice. It was good.
Yeah.
I didn't see the second one. I'm talking specifically about the first one. When we were kids.
Okay, because I was actually about to say, did you see the second part?
Yeah.
Of it? I don't think it was as good as the first part.
Oh no, it wasn't.
It wasn't scary.
No, not at all.
And like it was funny. It was too funny.
That
movie was too funny.
I mean, the first one was funny as well. It had its funny parts, but it did have its jump scares, which I liked.
Yeah, but it had that like foreboding aura to it of just dread and like you're being stalked at all times and you're paranoid. While the second one, after every scary thing, Richie just cracks a joke.
Yep.
Every time. Like it's it's a Tom and Jerry cartoon or something. Or the Scooby-Doo, they're going through like the doors.
Yeah,
like
that's annoying, and that can really like ruin the vibe of like an otherwise good movie, you know?
It kills your tempo.
It's a shame. But, you know, I mean, I guess I have to get around to watching that new movie.
You should, and I think you'll probably see what we're talking about here.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, the miniseries, it's a classic, kind of.
Yeah.
It's a classic if you were like... If you were born in like the 80s or the 90s.
If you were, right.
Yeah.
If you were born at the right times, that movie will scare the crap out of you for life.
If the stars align, you will remember this, and you're probably always going to remember it.
Couldn't say it any better myself, Joe.
So, Joe, thank you. Frank, your number 3?
Before I get to my number 3, did you guys see the video? Stan showed it to Chorman yesterday, but it's when instead of the paper boat going into the sewer, it's a jewel. and he's like, "You want a mango pod, Georgie?" He's like, it was hilarious.
Do I?
Yeah, it's hilarious. You all need to see that as well.
Like how I feel right now.
Then again, if it was modern days, it did exist. That's a very viable strategy to get kids. I've got the mango pods, Georgie.
Yeah,
dude, those are illegal. Where'd you get those? They floated down here, Georgie.
All right, my number 3. We brought it up before, but it's the Saw trilogy. You know, we did the top 5. No, was it top 10? Yeah, we did top 10 trilogies, like in the earlier episodes.
Back in the day.
And I don't know if I had this on my list.
I think someone did. I remember you or Luke talking about it.
Yeah, it might have been me, but
Well, this is when Frank splices in a flashback, like it's all gray and everything.
The Saw trilogy was fantastic. I'm totally with you that the first 2 were a lot better than the third movie, but the third movie wrapped up Jigsaw's story.
It was still good. I'll say this, it was still good.
Yeah.
But that's clearly when it started going downhill.
100%. I don't think they needed to go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then what was the new one? It was just called Jigsaw, right? And apparently Jigsaw actually comes back to life in the new movie.
Does he really?
Yeah, I think so, and I'm not a fan of that at all.
This isn't an occult movie or a supernatural movie, you know? This is like a human psychological terror franchise. Yeah.
I mean, the plot twists towards the end of Saw 1 and 2 were fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to spoil it because if you haven't seen them,
game over,
watch
man.
it. If I did spoil it, it would be almost like I ruined the whole movie.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Right. That's one of the scenes from, I believe, it might be the first or the second one was one I wanted to discuss with you guys after the podcast was over. I guess it's towards the end. It was what I was thinking of. That was definitely an iconic moment, I guess.
And I just like how Saw became iconic for having those plot twists. Unfortunately, they tried to do that every single time they made a Saw movie.
Too much.
And like you were saying before, it just became like they just tried to become more and more creative with the gruesomeness.
And it's like the first 3, like they also had like deeper like symbolisms and all that in their like stories. Like John Kramer, he was trying to start over his life and he wanted everything to go right. His kid was going to be born in the year of the pig. And of course, a drug addict ends up. This isn't spoilers or anything. This is just lore and backstory. All good?
Dude, why? I don't understand. I clicked this to get it going again.
No, the red.
Hold on, folks.
All right, we good.
All right, so.
All good.
Yeah, his kid was going to be born in the year of the pig, and if you know anything of the Saw franchise, you know that he has a mysterious helper who helps him, who dresses up in a pig suit and is just called the Pig. And when the drug addict killed the kid and everything, it's like it was a perversion of the new life he wanted, because that's like his MO in the movies. He wants people to realize that their life right now isn't being filled to its potential, and he's going to rebirth them through his trials. And the pig is what drags them to the trials.
I love that pig mask. I got it. I bought it for Halloween one year, and I still have it to this day.
Did you dress up as the pig?
Oh, yeah. I remember back in the day, it was me, Jake, and my boy Ryan.
Did you have the hidden blade and everything?
No, not that. No? I just had the pig mask on, a hoodie, and we were riding our bikes to houses for trick-or-treating. Yeah.
Going oink, oink.
I also love the music in the Saw franchise as well.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah, great soundtrack to it as well. Yeah. But that is my number 3.
Awesome.
Go right ahead.
All right, mine is it's a newer movie. Well, semi-newer. You guys have probably already seen it on Netflix. I do believe it's still on there. It's called It Follows.
No, I haven't watched
that. You haven't?
I haven't either. No,
I've heard of it, though. It's a great movie where the premise is this girl has a one-night stand with a guy, and after doing this, she starts feeling a unseen force slowly closing in on her at all times, and it's getting closer and closer and closer at all times. And the only way she could possibly save herself is by transferring it to someone else. Now, I'm sure just by that description, you can already tell that the symbolism here is that this movie is clearly supposed to be about STDs and whatnot. But instead of like a traditional, like, I don't know, you get like a staph infection or something, you're getting a ghost. So, but besides that, the movie has great actors and actresses. The lead girl I thought was phenomenal and everything. I don't remember the soundtrack too much, but that's because it actually mostly relies on like quiet, like dead silence, just like that.
Which is some of the best aspects for
and
horror.
You'll see it slowly closing in, and everything, because the camera is sometimes the ghost that like will slowly like close in
Oh, okay.
and everything, and like the character will like notice and then start bugging out and like leave.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, it's a good movie and I recommend it.
The more you talk about it, I think I've seen a little bit at least of it, or at least a trailer. I saw something of it. Yeah.
Give it a watch, man. It's a good movie.
Sounds interesting.
You won't be disappointed.
All right.
And that's my number 3.
Okay.
I'm literally a basic, when it comes to this list.
Language. This is a Christian podcast.
Again, we're PG-13 today, guys. My number 3 it's just a classic Paranormal Activity. And
the OG found footage.
It really is because of this one specific time.
Actually, is it OG? I'm talking to myself.
It is kind of OG.
I would say so, too.
I'd say the classic is Blair Witch. But
yes.
This is a classic for sure.
It all started, I was at my friend Pat Larero's house, and we were...
Right.
I was sleeping over. We were having like a sleepover, and...
You had your jammies on?
Had my jammies on.
Did you bring the teddy bear?
I didn't bring my teddy bear. The weather was awful, just awful.
Should have brought that teddy bear.
And oh my god, it got to this point. This movie was horrifying, and it got to this point where it's like in the movie, it's like 1 a.m, and the girl gets like dragged out of her bed, and right as she's getting dragged out of her bed, oh my god, I'm so sorry. A giant tree falls down.
Outside? Let's just pretend you said frick.
I know, no, I really would prefer if you cut that out. But a giant tree fell in this kid's backyard. I heard the loudest crash, literally right as this lady's getting dragged out of.
Did you poop yourself?
Room. I didn't poop myself, but
I would have.
You should have seen my friend Mom's face, dude. It was crazy. Like I remember her looking and then looking back at the TV. Me and Pat were freaking out. And
was that the first found footage film you ever saw? Because I know Paranormal Activity for a lot of people was their first experience with that type of style, where the story's told from like footage that someone found later on.
That or Cloverfield, and
Cloverfield, yeah, that's true.
It was alright to me too, that movie Cloverfield, but I know a decent amount of people didn't like it. I don't think. I think that was J.J. Abrams, right?
It was, yeah.
Wow, that was J.J. Abrams.
I mean, hey, it wasn't that bad of a movie. I thought it was very unique.
Yeah, I feel like I watched Cloverfield first, but I don't even remember when it came out.
A while ago.
Maybe 2008-ish.
Something. I was gonna say like 10 years. Yeah, something.
I know
like
it's
that.
a common theme we have here with Saw and now Paranormal Activity is these low budget movies that became like so popular and whatnot. Probably because they had to rely more on like their story and everything because they couldn't just vomit jump scares out at people, which is something I hope more studios can do going forward.
I agree with you, but I also think it's more about the practical stuff rather than CGI monsters.
Practical all the way.
Practical all the way. Yes. Yeah.
What was the most recent Paranormal Activity movies you guys saw?
I think I only saw the first one actually.
I think I saw up to 3, and I think they only made like 5 of them.
Did you watch the one when they were? I think it was in like. I don't want to say it was in Mexico, but they were like a bunch of Spanish people.
Yes,
and that was creepy.
That was a good one.
There was like a witch or something in that one, maybe.
Yeah, I forgot what it was called, but it was a spin-off movie. It was fantastic. That's definitely an honorable mention for me too. I forgot what it was called. I'm gonna look it up.
If you didn't see it, Joe, you might like it. It wasn't like
I love paranormal movies.
Yeah, Frankie said you loved horror movies. And I was like,
yeah,
I feel like I didn't know that about you. I was surprised.
Now you know.
The marked ones.
The marked ones. Okay.
It was.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, this was a good one. This was a good movie.
Is it on Netflix?
I don't think it's on Netflix.
How about Hulu?
You remember the end of that movie, Frankie? You remember the end of that movie?
Please, no spoilers.
I'm not gonna spoil it. I can't spoil it. I'm sorry.
I'll be honest with you. I don't really remember that movie that well, except for that I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Never mind. We will not speak of this any longer.
He who shall not be named.
Am I up? Anyway?
Unless you have anything more to add.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I mean, on the Paranormal Activity topic, I have a specific one though. Paranormal Activity 2.
Oh.
That is my number 2.
He quite literally just went up to you right there.
Which one is that?
The second one?
Yeah, which one is that?
That's
I don't know, I've never seen it.
That's the one with the 2 girls, I believe. No. I'm sorry. That's the third one. I think they made it like present day because the other ones are like prequels or something like that. But the second one was fantastic. There's this one part that I'll always remember that scared the crap out of me was when the mom was in the kitchen by herself, completely silent, no music or anything. She's just there in the corner drinking her coffee. And all the cabinets around here just slam open. And she runs out. Dude, I'm telling you, that was the scariest part in the movie. The whole movie was scary. They also have a part in the movie with the pool. They show the pool cleaner in the pool, right? And they always show it coming out of the pool. But that's all they showed. I thought something scarier would happen, but that's all that they showed for it. Paranormal Activity 2 was fantastic. That's like another horror movie that I could remember like yesterday. Me and my friends were going to go to Fright Fest.
That good?
Was end up being too packed, so we went to the movies to see that
I was
instead.
about to say, you're crazy if you watched Paranormal Activity 2 and then you went to Fright Fest. You're
Oh,
gonna be
no.
so on edge.
No. Yeah, for real. But fantastic movie. I thought it was so good.
Someone would poke you. Blood would go everywhere.
And now that I'm thinking about it, the first 3 Paranormal Activities and then Marked Ones was good. But that trilogy, that, and I'm remembering it right now. It goes Paranormal Activity, then Paranormal Activity 2, which happened before the first movie, then Paranormal Activity 3, which happened before the second movie. So they were all really prequels.
Wait, so Paranormal Activity 3 was in between Paranormal Activity 1 and 2?
No, Paranormal Activity 3 should really be the first Paranormal Activity, and then it should go second and then first.
Oh, so it's written in reverse.
Yes, and I always found that very cool about it.
That is cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like that too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little cheeky.
Yeah,
A little cheeky.
but as long as you play the cards right and perform it well.
And clearly they did with how much money they made compared to their budget.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
They're happy.
But that would be my number 2.
All right. Well, my number 2 is the first horror movie I ever saw, The Grudge. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's a more or less pretty classic ghost tale. It's set, the main character is Buffy the Vampire Slayer's actress, but I didn't know that at the time, clearly.
Uh-huh.
She also played Daphne in the Scooby-Doo movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know, right? She's all over the horror genre, really. But yeah, the premise is it has all these Japanese ghosts have a specific name, but it's a vengeful like spirit, and I remember it scared me so much because it has an icon. Every time it like sneaks up behind you, it can't talk because its neck was snapped, and it'll go like kind of like a door creaking behind you. And I remember I live in a 2-story house, not flexing, just facts. And I remember I was at the top of the stairs. I guess I closed my parents' room door and everything, and I was at the top of the stairs, and it made the creaking sound, and I, with no thought from my survival instinct, jumped down the stairs.
Really?
I jumped halfway down the stairs perfectly, too. Like, just boof. Like, I didn't even think twice about it, and I sprinted down the rest of the way. So that's how much the movie affected me.
Damn.
It's a great movie. It also has, if you don't mind subtitles, it has an original version called Ju-on the Grudge, which is the Japanese version of the movie.
Oh.
It's also the original movie. The one that this is, The Grudge, is a American remake for the audiences because it was so popular over there. It's a solid story, and it even still holds up today because I have rewatched it a couple of times, and there's one scene back when, you're a kid, you have stupid kid notions. I always used to think if I just hide under the covers, a monster won't be able to get me. Like, it can't just tear through cloth and skin or whatever. And there's one scene in the movie where one of the characters has that idea. They see the ghost outside the door. They lock it. They sprint to their bed and go under the covers. And what will always stick with me is the look on her face as she feels something, lifts up the covers, and the ghost is just right there chilling at her.
That's
and
creepy.
drags her into the bed, like kind of like Freddy Krueger style, and she just disappears. That's it. That's the end of the scene.
That is pretty creepy.
I gotta get around to watching the Grudge.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that either.
No, it's the unfortunate thing about The Grudge, and why I have this over the movie that kind of overshadowed that time, is it came out kind of around the same time that The Ring did.
Okay.
And they have similar ghost antagonists. It's a creepy, pale girl who has dark hair over their eyes and stuff, like very similar kind of physical like looks, but obviously they do different things. There's no phone call warning from this ghost. The second you step into its house's land, you're beat, you're cursed, which I always found especially terrifying.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, what if you're walking down the neighborhood, your friend pushes you into a lawn and a ghost appears and it's like, sup, I'm gonna kill you. I don't know when I'm gonna kill you, but I'm gonna get you eventually. There's no escape.
Is The Grudge the same movie with the clown, the freaking toy clown that comes alive?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't, actually.
It's like the little boy is trying to sleep in bed, but he's just staring at this clown sitting on a rocking chair right across from him, and it becomes alive.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know
what movie is that. That sounds scary.
I'm trying to remember, but for some reason I thought it might have been Grudge. I could be wrong.
No, the only other ghost in that is her kid, which is like the herald that you're about to get messed up.
Okay.
Yeah. Although what was kind of funny about that is a little backstory. The kid was drowned with his cat. So I think what they tried to get across is he swallowed the cat like while he was drowning. So whenever the kid like tries to talk, a cat will just like appear in his like mouth and go.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a freaky movie.
Yeah.
And I saw it when I was like 7. Yeah.
Never heard of that one, huh, Frank? That's pretty unique.
Yeah, that is. That's pretty crazy.
I'll say this about Japanese ghosts: they have some freaky stuff, like a woman with a mouth in the back of her like head, or a woman who like appear up to you and she'll be like, "Am I pretty?" And if you answer no, she kills you. If you answer yes, she's wearing a mask. She takes the mask off and you see her whole fucking mouth is like all the skin, it's all like gone. She's like stitched like Joker style, like up here, and she's like, "How about now?" And then if you still answer yes, she'll tear you to look just like her. They have some very unique spirits. Yeah.
Sounds very creepy and intense.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm a big fan of those type of spirits. They're very interesting,
All right.
But yeah, that's my number 2.
Pretty good number
Joe?
2.
I'm starting to get horrified, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm switching it up. My number 1 is now becoming my number 2 because I just remembered my actual number 1, I think.
Okay.
If it's the movie I'm thinking of. I'm 99% sure it is. So my number 2 is The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
My now number 2.
I remember you saying. It's very...
And, there's a lot of gruesome and brutal scenes in that movie, and I feel like it starts off a little, like, I wouldn't say slow, but, like, you don't necessarily know what's going on. You don't know what's up with these people.
Yeah, and that movie flips a switch.
It flips a switch like no other.
Oh, yeah.
Right in that friggin' trailer there, and it's awful. There's so many things that are oh my god, so brutal with that movie, and I can't even remember how it ended. I'm pretty sure I left my best friend Ty's house before the movie ended.
Dude, you got to finish it till the end, man.
Yeah, man.
You got to rewatch it, see if you're up to snuff.
And honestly, there's just like 2 like really specific things that pop out in front of me, and it's like someone was getting I thought someone was getting crucified. I don't know if I remember that correctly. I thought. And then there was like everything that happens in like that van. I'm not even getting into that. Like just brutal.
Yeah, I mean,
the most brutal crap.
Horrific in a real way.
And yeah, in a real awful way. And I didn't see the second movie. I don't know if you guys ever did, but I don't know.
I think I did, but I don't remember it very well because I was with a bunch of friends and obviously wasn't completely watching the movie.
Mm-hmm. My old friend used to tell me he liked the second movie, but I never watched it yet. I will want that.
Eventually.
5 years later.
So much later that the old narrator died, and they had to hire a new one. Gotta love SpongeBob.
That's all for me.
All right, Frank.
All right.
You're number 1.
My number 1 is 2 movies.
Ooh.
Insidious 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Insidious, I thought was fantastic. for some reason with horror movies, I like remember where I am, like when and where, you know, whenever I'm watching these things, and it was right here in the basement, and it was just a movie that totally surprised me. It was so good, I thought. And the scariest part by far, well, maybe not, no, yeah, definitely one of the creepiest parts is when, what's that song? It's like, dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
the
dun,
Candyman.
Yeah, that song. And like the devil guy is just dancing in the living room. It's really creepy, and it's almost like Stranger Things with the underworld, if you think about it, because you know,
like how they have the upside down and they have the spirit world.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. And it's really good. The guy, I think his name might be Patrick Wilson.
You are correct.
I'm
that
right.
is his name.
I think he's a great actor. You see him in all these horror movies.
Yeah.
And he was fantastic as the dad in it. The kid also had a great performance as well. And the second one, I thought it followed through. I don't think it was better than the first one, but I still think it followed through. I love the old lady who's like, you know,
Elaine.
Elaine. I think she's great in those movies as well. Her two helpers,
squad.
her two helpers who are like the goofy Ghostbusters kind of deal. Like they're pretty funny in it. It gave some good comedy relief. And I thought Insidious is great. I know they made a third one. I think they made a fourth one. I didn't see those, but I also heard they didn't do so hot.
What was it? Those were all right. I saw those, and they weren't terrible. I'll say this: they didn't completely drop off, but definitely not as good as the first two, like you said.
Yeah, I thought they were so good, honestly.
Like they just tried to add too much lore to their older characters, you know? Mm-hmm. Like the Bride.
The Bride.
Am I thinking of the right franchise? Insidious?
You said it's...
No, I think you might be right. Yeah, I think you are right. In the first one, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't she also in the second one?
She might be, yeah.
Yeah, at the end, well, it's kind of spoilers, so I don't want to say, but she appears before Patrick Wilson when he goes into the spirit world. He just gets his kid. He's traveling back to his body, and he gets sidetracked, and she's waiting there in like a mirror.
Yes, I remember that part.
Yeah, it is Insidious.
Yes,
okay.
yep.
Okay.
I feel like I remember that.
And
it's a pretty notable scene.
That I'm thinking about, that might be the scariest part.
Yeah.
In the movie, I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But very good movies. That is my number one.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, my number one is like your number 5 or something. I had to put the Halloween franchise all the way at the top for me just because what it did for horror as a genre.
Yes.
I feel like I treat it like it's like the Beatles, basically, where even people who don't like the Beatles, you need to like respect and acknowledge what they did for music as like a whole. And even if Halloween isn't quite up to snuff maybe nowadays, back then, and even in my point now, it's a classic. It truly is. It's not a jump scary movie like that, but the jump scares it does have are like well executed, and it really masters build up, you know? Mm-hmm. Like dramatic tension, like of someone stalking you in the background. Maybe you don't even notice at first as like a viewer, and then you see something in the background like kind of getting a little closer as the protagonist is unaware, and there's no music or anything, just silence. Those type of films like Halloween are just the best. Yeah.
Do you remember the part in the first Halloween where she goes to her car, it's locked, goes to grab the keys, she comes back to the car but doesn't unlock it, she just opens the door, and just then you're just like, oh shit. Like
I remember because I think I rewatched this like a couple months ago. Back when I first watched it, I watched it with my family actually. Mm-hmm. And you know the scene when Lori and her friend are just gonna meet her cop dad, and they just roll up a freaking joint right then and there, and they're just smoking it like right there. Remember back now, I was like, "Mommy, is that a cigarette?" And my mom was like, "Yes, honey, that's a cigarette, of course." And then I rewatch it post college, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I see now."
How about the part in the movie when Mike Myers stabs the guy to the wall to where he's hanging,
and then he goes like that?
Yeah, he's just looking at him.
That's iconic. Like he's admiring his work. He's like, "Damn, I pinned this guy to the wall.
I thought that's a great part too.
That's easily top.
Just
Top
the
tier.
legacy of those like films, man. It's just so much. Like I feel like those movies.
Dude, he made a Will Shatner mask his own. Like, you know, like,
yeah, right.
I don't even, when I look at his mask, I go, that's the Michael Myers mask. That's not like
Yeah, what do you mean by that, Will Shatner mask?
Well, when he in the first movie, that's the mask he uses. That's a William Shatner mask that's been like modified a little bit.
Really?
His outfit, yeah. He jumps the mechanic in the beginning. He takes his outfit, and then he robbed. Because remember that scene I was talking about?
Yeah.
They roll up and he's like, "Oh, what happened?" And it's a Halloween store. He's like, "Yeah, someone broke in and it's like stole like a mask or something, and he stole a William Shatner mask."
Okay. Wow. All right. I didn't know that.
And now you know.
Yeah.
That's how we got the mask.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't just like, you know, he's like, well, good thing I have this mask. Like,
He was born with it.
Yeah, I was born. Congratulations, you've been born. You're the incarnation of evil. You get a free mask.
He was molded by it.
I didn't see the light until it was already.
Oh man.
All right, and that's it for me, Joe.
Well, my number one is a movie called Sinister. Have you guys seen that?
Yes,
Heard
I have.
of it.
And I can't even remember like the entire plot, but I remember it. I think it had like this Slender Man vibe, and it was just so much like there was like something going on with
it
this
was
tree.
it was the demon who
right.
haunts the tapes.
And he was
Bagul, I'm pretty sure his name was.
Yeah. And he was in the background of the pictures and the videos, and you would see more and more of these videos as it went on. And
What I liked about that movie was it had a very real reaction to like what I feel like a human being would do when they're presented with like otherworldly evidence. Because I remember the only like as it got on and he had to watch more and more of the tapes, he would just get a whole thing of like vodka or whatever, and he would just be chugging these things.
Right.
Like he'd watch the film to the end and he'd be like, and he would just start chugging like an alcohol, which I thought was kind of funny, but I was like, you know what? That's probably a realistic thing what I would do if I watched like a glorified snuff film in front of me.
And oh man, just the first time I saw that movie, obviously it was me and my two friends. I was too much of a wimp to watch anything by myself.
Did you watch Sinister 2 as well? It's on Netflix right now if you're curious.
Oh, I didn't. And now
it follows the cop buddy from the first one. You know, his cop friend that he goes to for all the details and whatnot. He helps him out. He gets some details.
Man, you should have had this as your number one, Joe.
I'm sorry. I look, frankly, you know, I'm a big horror fan. I know a lot of these movies like way too well. Like, you know, like.
Yo, we should have just set our numbers 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and just had Joe Lupo just talking about him all the time.
I couldn't do all
it would
of
be
these.
so much better than hearing me talk about him.
I'm sorry, Joe.
No,
Sorry.
you're
I
doing
just
great.
want to help you out.
You are helping me out, bro. I'm trying to think of this one specific tape. I think it was in their pool, and I can't remember what it was.
Birthday bash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there another one too with like
A lawnmower.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get into spoiler territory if I talk about that.
All right. We won't talk about it then.
Yeah.
All right, Sinister. It's a pretty good scary movie.
It is.
Did terrify the crap out of me. Maybe the most out of all the movies that I've seen, just because.
Are you afraid of Bagul?
Yeah,
Some pagan gods.
And it was like the environment I was into. My best friend's basement was like just so.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we would cover everything up and you just couldn't see anything. We were always messing with each other, trying to it was so pitch black that somebody would like get over here and try to like get to the other person and pop out right in front of them and try to scare it without anyone even noticing. Like just ridiculous things. I feel like all these movies are just nostalgic to me. These ones on my list.
Oh, Sinister 100%. Actually. We were talking about Saw before. Another big point of the Sinister movies is the snuff films and whatnot. Each movie, I think, has at least 4 of the films. And this isn't much of a spoiler. Can I tell you about one in the Sinister 2?
Surely.
It's a medieval torture one. It's it's not medieval, but the style of torture is medieval. The person has got all the, people in like a circle tied up and bound. With their all their shirts are off, and he gets rats, puts a bucket on it, and he does the old heat up the bucket trick so that the rat burrows through the body in order to escape, which is one of my favorite in that franchise.
I love that in Game of Thrones season 2. I know we don't talk about it anymore. But
we do not speak of it.
Absolutely love that. That's got to be a horrifying. I know we were talking about like getting eaten by a shark or getting buried alive.
That's bad.
At least a shark, it's like just gonna take everything at once. A rat is small enough that it needs to literally burrow, like it's going in the ground through your guts.
Yeah, man.
And you're beat. You're not even gonna get the sweet release of death instantly. Your best hope is that the shock of the pain kills you.
Let's hope so.
I mean, yeah, you don't want to have to go take a shit afterwards, holding your guts, and you're like, oh, this sucks. I'm gonna poop this rat out.
All right, get me out of here. I'm done talking about it.
All right, I think that's it then, Frank. Closing thoughts?
That is it. Closing thoughts. This was a trip down memory lane because it was very nostalgic for me, and just an overall good topic. I had fun with this one. That'll do it with us. I hope you enjoyed this episode as well, and if you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Smash it.
I would like to thank my co-host as always, Joe Lupo, for a fourth time, I believe now.
Unlucky number 4.
I thought it was unlucky number 3.
No, 3's a magic number, dude.
Oh, that's right.
You don't remember Schoolhouse Rock?
No.
The mom and the dad had a little baby, and then there were 3 in the family?
No.
Oh, okay. You're looking at me like I'm some weirdo, dude. I mean, I was raised right over here. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Well, anyway, I would like to thank my co-host, Joe Lupo. And I would like to thank my cameraman, as always, Joe Critelli, as well.
I'm sorry for messing up like 3 times today, Frank.
All good. Don't worry about
it. It was the first time in a while, right?
Yeah.
It's been a month. I was clicking the wrong button like over and over. I was like, what's going on?
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Is that why we had to change?
Not the first time,
okay,
no. But the second time, yeah.
It's okay, we forgive here.
All right, and that'll do it for us. We'll see you next time. Peace out.
Stay cool.
Specific genre that you like the most in EDM?
So, for sure, my favorite genre has evolved over the years. I wouldn't say I'm a front runner per se, but I would say that I'm always super excited about what like the next big thing in the EDM scene is going to be.
Of course.
You know, back in like 2012, 2013, loved Hardwell, Avicii, Laid Back Luke, like all like the classics you hear about nowadays. Scene evolved, you know, I started to like Alva Heldens, scene evolved again. I started to like, you know, dubstep, like, you know, Bass Nectar, Subtronics, all that good stuff. And most recently, what's actually coming up in the scene a lot is Deep House is starting to make like a comeback again, I feel. And now I'm really starting to fuck with Deep House, like Fisher, like Wax Motif, like these smaller artists now. I'm sure that in a couple years, like, well, not even a couple years because the scene moves fast, maybe like a year or so, people are really going to start to like Deep House again.